Let's talk about what your mother was like based on your moon sign. If you're a Pisces moon, your mother was emotionally unstable or displayed a lot of emotionally erratic behavior. Either she was mentally ill or she struggled with drugs or alcohol. Moon in Aquarius, either your mother loved you unconditionally or your mother spent your entire childhood, rejecting you, essentially. So it's one extreme or the other with unconditional love. Moon in Capricorn, your mother was emotionally unstable and most certainly than not emotionally abusive as well, or even physically abusive as well. Moon in Sagittarius, your mother lived on the fringe of society. Either she was part of some weird cult or super religious group, or was like part of a commune or a hippie. But essentially she was kind of a wanderer, whether religiously or spiritually or just with her lifestyle all over the place. Moon in Scorpio, your mother was emotionally distant or perhaps even physically distant, but definitely did not get your needs met from her, and you were left in that relationship feeling unfulfilled, alone, and that resulted in a lot of codependency issues, wrapped up with also fear of intimacy. Moon in Libra, your mother never really cared how you felt. Your feelings were not important to her. In fact, she never really thought about them. She was more focused on, the things that you needed to stay alive and never really cared about whether you were sad or happy. When in Virgo, you probably had an unequal amount of connection with your parents if you were in a two-parent household where you felt a deeper connection with one versus the other, or maybe you had a sick parent and a healthy parent. But either way, it created this kind of like desire to never really truly feel fulfilled. So Moon and Virgos tend to get wrapped up in love triangles as adults because of that. Or they routinely fall in love with people who don't love them back. Moon in Leo, you probably were raised by a mother who was very concerned with how she was looked at by the community. She was concerned with her looks, with her status in the community and what people would think, and less about what was actually going on with you. So you were more like a pawn in her game of like trying to gain power and esteem in the community. Just like Moon in Scorpio, Moon in Cancer also have a karmic bond with their mother, meaning that they have karmic past dramas that were brought into this lifetime. So these mothers tend to be very emotionally entangled with their children, but not very connected. So they're involved, but they're not very helpful. So the mother feels very close, but she's not meeting the emotional needs of the child. Moon in Gemini have mothers who are not emotionally available at all, but that are very intellectual and very into like questioning, playing mind games, accusing, calling their children liars, that kind of thing. Moon in Taurus either come from very stable families or very physically unstable families when it comes to resources. And Aries mothers tend to be domineering, they tend to be dominant, they tend to be very accusatory and scary.